Today I'm going to show you how to make paper mache. The connectors have done a lot with paper mache for their recent project on bees and wasps. So we've had a lot of fun with that, and I thought I'd show you how to make a paper mache bowl today, which is pretty simple and a lot of fun for kids to make. So I'm going to tell you what materials you need first, and then I'll show you step by step what to do. So you're going to need some newspaper. We don't get newspaper in our house, so I have some circulars that works just as good. You're going to need some scissors and some tape, and you'll need some saran wrap. You can choose a bowl that you want to use, so depending on the size of the paper mache bowl you want to do, you can do a small one or a bigger one. Then you'll need a bowl with a little bit of water in it and some flour. You'll need a whisk, and those are all the ingredients. So to start off with, you're going to cut your paper mache strips, and to do this, you're just going to do strips about this width, and depending on the size of the bowl, I kind of measured, I want it to cover the majority of the bowl. So if you have a bigger bowl, you might want to open up your newspaper or your circular and make it longer. I didn't need to do them as long because my bowl was a little bit smaller. So I cut a bunch of them. You'd want to make a lot of them so you have them already. But I only cut a small amount because I'm going to just show you a little section of how to do this bowl. So the first step you're going to do is cover your bowl in saran wrap. And when I cover my bowl with saran wrap, it doesn't cover it completely on all sides. So I'm going to use another piece of saran wrap. I'm going to tuck it under and get another one. And make sure it kind of covers all sides. And I'm going to kind of smooth it down and turn it over and tuck it into the middle part. And this is where the tape's going to come in handy, where you're going to just tape it down a little bit so that it doesn't kind of come out. Just a few pieces of tape. I tried doing it another way with a plastic bag, which is a way that I saw on the computer that they suggested. It didn't work out as well for me, so the saran wrap was a lot more successful. So now the whole thing is covered. I'm going to make my paper mache mixture, and for that I just put a little bit of water in here. I just kind of pour in some flour, and I kind of make sure it's the consistency I want. So I'll dump in a little bit of flour, and if you end up adding too much flour and it's too thick, all you need to do is add some water to it to make it thinner. And if it's too thin, all you need to do is add some extra flour to it. So you don't want it to be too thick. You want to try to mix it up to get rid of a lot of the lumps in here. And if you're noticing that clumps are coming out, it's probably a little bit too thick, or you didn't mix it up enough. So take a look at that. That's probably pretty good. It might be a little bit too thick, so I'm going to add just a tiny bit of water to it. But okay, so now you're going to take your mixture over to your bowl, and I put it on a tray not to make a mess on my counter. And this is where you're going to get your strips of paper. You're going to take one at a time, and you're going to dip it in to your bowl, and you're going to kind of squeeze off the excess amount, and then you're going to lay it on top of the bowl and smooth it down with your fingers. And then you're going to take your next piece. Sometimes two stick together, or they're a long piece, so you can rip them. You're going to do the same thing, dip it in, and you're going to get off the excess amount. And I like to kind of go in different directions. And you're going to want to cover the whole bowl. I actually tried this with my older son, and we did this one day and then checked it the next day after it dried, and we saw that it just wasn't thick enough for what we wanted, so it actually took 2 days. So we covered it completely one day and then let it dry overnight, and then the next day did the exact same thing and covered it again, and that was the thickness that we wanted it to be. So I will show you the completed product in a minute. So you want to cover everything on this side, and don't worry if the pieces are not perfect on the bottom, because you'll be able to cut it after. So just going to rinse my hands and show you what happens next. So after 2 days worth of covering it and letting it dry each day, this was the one that I did, you kind of have to put your nail underneath and kind of pop it out, or you can even kind of pull up the saran wrap and kind of pop it off, and then you get a completed bowl like this. And you'll notice it's a little rough around the edges, so that's where you'll go back and get your scissors and you can kind of cut it to make it smoother. And you can cut it straight across, or you can make, you know, different designs in it if you want to. This is something you'll need to do for your kids because this was a little hard. I didn't let my older son do this. It was just too hard for him, so he told me how he wanted to be cut. So you kind of make it as smooth as you'd like it, or as detailed as you'd like. And it's a pretty sturdy bowl. And then this is my son's completed bowl that he painted the outside. His was a little bit bigger. And then we were so excited, we discovered we had some eggs from last year, some wooden and cardboard eggs that they had decorated. And so we put them inside here, and it made a really kind of cool bowl to put in our Easter decoration. So I hope you have fun trying this activity. I know we had a lot of fun, and my son said he wants to do another paper mache project. It might be something other than a bowl, but it's something really fun to try that a lot of kids haven't done already. So happy paper macheing. Bye.